got a Splitforce, we're going to use it. This is the SF1320T. It is a 20 long elevator that is on it. It has a Honda 390 electric start engine. It's got steering because it's drivable. So we got controls right here. The middle lever is for the elevator up and down, and the front lever I think is for the steering, and the back is for the drive. It's one or the other. I'll figure it out when I get there. It has a log lift on the side and a real nice big deep trough, as you can see, so it's got high sides. Now we used this on another video that we did over at Keith's place on the farm. Worked really good. You can see we wore a whole bunch of paint off of it here. It's a vertical splitter. It's I think it's 26.5 tons, something like that. It's got a foot pedal here, so your vertical split, use your foot for actuation, and then you can move your logs around, slide it over. And I'm going to be using it today because we got all this wood that we got from Easton Made from the Green Bay Logging Expo. This was wood that they processed with their processors they had there. They had a 40C and a 48C, and then they had some, also they had some log splitters there that were for sale, and I think they sold all of them. They were, I think, all sold before they even got to the show. And so all this wood is what they produced, and they had to get rid of it, and they wanted to know if I wanted it, so I took up 2 trailers and they filled it up. And so we got a bunch of wood here. So what I'm going to do is, this needs to get out of here. I don't want it just sitting here forever. So because I got the elevator, what I'm going to do is we're going to drive the Splitforce over to one of my bins that has a bunch of mixed hardwood, because that's what this is. There's a lot of ash in here, there's some maple in here, there's some cherry in here. So there's just a bunch of different stuff. What I'm going to do is drive this machine over to one of the big bins, and we're going to use it to put wood up higher into the bin, because it's a big bin. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tractor to scoop up piles of it, or from the pile I should say, buckets full. I'm going to take it over there, and I'm going to split out of the bucket, because a lot of this stuff can just go right up the elevator. So I'll just put an elevator to go up into the pile, and then the rest of it that needs to be split smaller, we're going to be splitting it smaller. So that's what's happening right now. So I was splitting along like a happy little boy, and all of a sudden the chain stopped on the elevator, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but watch this piece come around. Magic. It grabbed it and shoved it in there and stopped it cold. So got to do some repairs. So I was splitting along happily, and all of a sudden the elevator started whining, and look what happened here. Got a piece stuck in there really tight too. So I got a axe pickaroo and I brought the electric chainsaw because I might have to actually cut some of it away to get this to come out. So we'll see what we can get to have happen here. There it is. The Stuckalinsky. Stuckaroonie. That didn't work out so well. Come on. Thought if I split it, I can get it to come out easier. It's a piece of ash. And I got one piece. We're getting there now. Let's get smaller. Got movement. So I cut through it this way, and now I'm cutting it horizontally to hopefully shrink it down and all. That should make it easier. I'll try to thin it down a little bit. She popped out now. See, I cut horizontally and vertically, but I don't know if you can see the piece. It's down inside of there now. I don't think I want to leave it in there because it might go all the way down and get clogged on the bottom. So I'm going to try to get it. So here's the piece. Here's my extractor. I just took a hook for hanging on like a tool board and a fiberglass rod. First pull, I reached in there, pulled it right out. So there it is. The bad guy has been captured. that front, I hooked it and I pulled it right out, but I had to cut it in pieces, you'll see. Didn't take long, but it's dinking around.
That's funny.
So now we got an extractor. I'll have to hang it here somewhere.
Rectum extractor. That probably won't stay there if you gotta sit, unless you hook it there.
I don't know if I'll ever use it again, but I made it. Yeah, it was wedged in there tight too. And then as I cut it horizontally. And then it just cramped on more and more and more because it was about that thick to start with.
Yeah, because
I don't know how the hell it got in there.
The chain's pushing back up.
So it's coming down, yeah.
So the chain comes around the end and it actually comes back.
Well, we just finished splitting the last bucket after I got the wedgie out, but we lowered it down so it's touching up there, but it makes nice tall piles. Yeah. It works really good for stacking up the chunks. And we were just talking about how the machine is really nice, and we adjusted the link in the back for the hydraulic for your foot depth on your wedge, and we weren't quite maxed out.
So then you start losing power. We noticed that the other day when we were splitting too.
And we realized what it was. It's that turnbuckle in the back must have loosened up, and so we weren't getting full stroke. And we were wondering, it isn't quite as powerful as it should be. But now it is. So yeah, it's working good. It's really nice to split out the bucket like this and build these big piles up. This would be an awesome machine permanent addition to the woodyard to have a portable elevator. Just the elevator in itself is awesome.
Yeah, well, and then I think actually for in the wood yard, I think the conveyor out the side would probably be better because you could just drive right down the edge of your business.
Yeah, if we had the other model I got, the conveyor goes right out the side. It's a shorter conveyor, but that would be practical because you could just drive right along the edge and just fill these up. And I don't think you'd go quite as high, but it would still be nice.
It wouldn't have to be as high.
No, it wouldn't have to be.
You don't need anything to fall on your head.
No.
You don't need to die.
I don't need to be any more brain damage than I already am. It's from your farts. That's all I got for today. My brother, that's right. See you tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. Go check it out. Splitforce, there it is. Good night, Irene.